It was a Saturday morning, so I ventured out into the wilds of the flea market. Picked up some comic books, also picked some up on a stop on the way home, and I got some really different, interesting books. Let's take a look on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And please like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff. Follow us on the other socials, Instagram at Bronzeville_comics, whatnot, Bronzeville_comics. We do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're not yet signed on to whatnot, you can use the link in the description of this video and get $10 off your first purchase. There's also a link to my eBay store as well as my email in the description of this video. So it was a decent Saturday morning. I'm sorry. Let me turn around here. Oh, God. So it was a nice Saturday morning, and I decided to go to the flea market. It was a little chilly, but we headed out there. We're coming up on it. It's flea market time. The Meadowlands Flea Market just outside MetLife Stadium, the home of the Jets and the Giants. And we'll see. It's reasonably nice morning. We'll see what stuff is available. Right in front of us is MetLife Stadium, so we're ready to go around that onto the other side where the flea market is. We're here early this morning, so it looks pretty quiet. Not many cars in the parking lot just yet. The vendors are just starting to set up. I imagine this will be a pretty eventually a pretty busy morning, because right now it's 45 degrees. So that's a good day for setting up the flea market. No rain in the forecast. And it's really the first really nice day of the season. Oh, that's closed off. I got it. So let's see what's here. I'm trying to think the best place to start. You really want to get the folks as they first bring their boxes of comics out. That's ideal, but not always what you run into. So you got folks unloading still. Let's go up this way. Thought I saw somebody over here, but no. Looks like comic adjacent things. There's a box over here.
Man, that would probably go for about 40.
What have we here? People still setting up. Star Wars toys. 45s. Excuse me. Sometimes if there's just a random pile of stuff, that's really where you can find something. Like here, but I doubt it. Maybe. Looks like it's been looked through. Even if we had number one, the first appearance of the Maker, that would be good. I will take that one. Yeah, we'll get that one. There's all sorts of stuff. Video games. No comics. DVDs. Microwave oven. Let's see. Cards.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll make a couple go rounds. Just because so many folks are just setting up.
I don't know what about this one.
Yeah. I'm really shocked by the number of open spaces. Like you get to the May, June, this place is packed to the gills.
Yeah,
Cards.
this is all about. Well, it's all the same one. Okay, you ready? One. No. It's way off. You're way off. It's 718-6. 7.
I think I have to do a few laps today. I got here early. Folks still setting up. We'll be doing the laps. We'll see when we find some more things. Oh, it's about 9:30. I've been here almost 2 hours. And time flies at the Flea. And things are picking up, more folks here, more vendors. But I think I've seen all the comic book stuff. So I got a few comic books today. And we'll break it out in a video. So you got tools. You got whatever this stuff is. Hats. Clothes. Like billiards. Hair care products, or whatever that is, vitamins. The folks who set up have to get here exceedingly early. And yeah, just one last pass through. I looked at those boxes there. Got a few out of that. Anything interesting here? It's game stuff. A slot machine. And a lot of cards. Magazines, stamps. Grill.
You come back.
So let's see the books that we picked up. I actually found some interesting books, and it took a while because you saw there in the initial footage, it took a while for people to set up. Even some usual vendors, like they were setting up later than normal, it seemed to me. So I don't know, the way they process and I mean, I only stay in the back half of the flea market. The front half I found is, like food and laundry detergent and clothes and shoes and stuff that isn't comic books, and I'm not interested in really anything that isn't comic books. There is some cool stuff I'm like, but I only want comic books. So I was going around to some different vendors, and like after, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes, I spent like $6. But I think they were money well spent. I got this copy of Ultimate Fantastic Four #1. And this book has become hotter lately because it's the first appearance of Reed Richards in this universe, who is the Maker in the new Ultimate universe. So they've kind of using him as a villain, if you're familiar with that. And then I got this for $1, and I was and it's kind of, I've been looking off the beaten path. Like, yeah, you go to the flea market, maybe you'll find an Amazing Spider-Man 300 or, you know, Ultimate Fallout 4 or something like that for $1 or $2. But really, if you do a little bit of digging, and you can find some pretty interesting stuff that is a little bit harder to find. And I found a few of those books. So there was one guy who had dollar books, just books for $1. And it's mostly, you know, stuff that even for $1. But I picked this up. This is from 1960, Betty and Veronica #49. Archie's Girls on a Pedestal. And it's in pretty nice shape. This is probably like a, I don't know, I think it's like a 6.5 maybe. It's a nice book. And it's still early Silver Age Archie. That's pretty cool. You can get 10-cent Archies. They're usually, I mean, for $1, it's worth it. And the other book that they had for $1, this is a pretty sharp copy. I don't think it's a candidate. Yeah, it's probably just shy of a candidate, because especially this black cover. Speed Racer #1 from Now Comics. This is the first appearance of Speed Racer in American comic books. So that was, you know, pretty cool. Actually, I'd spent $4. Those 3 books were a total of $4. And probably what they're worth, I don't know, over 100 maybe. So then I picked this up. I think I had stopped collecting by this issue. This was not in highest of grade. It was just like 1 box of unbagged and boarded stuff. And I picked up a Static. This is number 35. So it's towards the end of the series. It's not one of the very last issues that does have quite a premium. And then there was a guy that had priced books, so he knew kind of what he had, but there were some books I thought were good value. A couple of Batmans. This was a $5 book, $1.91. And I have to see if these are upgrades over the PC books. And there was another $5 Batman. This one, yeah, $2.15. It's mid-grade, but a 15-cent Batman for $5. Then he had a couple Batmans for $15. $1.92. Not a bad copy. Solid mid-grade. And this is in nice shape. This is probably like an 8, probably about an 8. And it's number 214. 15-cent Batman? Sure. Couple of Hulks. 202. It does have a kind of a tear that goes all the way through the book up here. So like some kid tried to Franco Columbo it. Incredible Hulk 129 with the Glob. And then you get some other, you know, like $2, $3, $4 books. Fantastic Four 349. This second appearance of the other the new Fantastic Four, Hulk, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, and Wolverine. But just the Art Adams cover. That is Art Adams, right? I'm pretty sure. Then they had these 2 for $1 each. They're in low grade. But Tales to Astonish 67, 68. $1 each, why not? And then, so that was it for that. Then there was a guy, he usually has books, like it's more modern stuff for $2, but he had older stuff and just a little bit of it. It was $5 a piece or 5 for $20. So I ended up picking up 6 books from him. Archie Giant 140, Betty and Veronica Summer Fun. This is, I believe, from 1966. And this is another Betty and Giant series, Betty and Veronica Spectacular. Archie, what are England's chief export? Mini skirts. So I think this must be, yeah, probably 67. And these are both in decent shape. Archies are hard to find in good shape. Then this is very much a spine roll, but it is Submariner 44. Then there are a few books that I have to put in Golden Age bags and boards. This one I thought would be worth more. Here. This is Dell Junior Treasury #1 with Alice in Wonderland. I have to look up that that value again. Because it didn't populate a value in my CLZ app. It's usually what books do. And then sometimes you get like weird outlier sales that drive it. And then here's another, well, it needs a Golden Age bag. The Adventures of Mighty Mouse. I forgot the issue number. I should put it on the cover because it's impossible. They never put the issue numbers on the cover of these Dell Gold Key books. And Dell means it's early on. This is 151 from 1961. So this is a series that started in the Golden Age. So this is issue 151. We will give it a little sticker to denote that. 151. Put that there. And again, I was picking these up because I thought they were in nicer shape. You know, and if you get good books in solid mid-grade from 1961 even, you know. But and Mighty Mouse is, especially for my generation, a fairly well-known character. If you're familiar with the comedy stylings of Andy Kaufman, certainly. And then this, I didn't even realize this. I looked it up on cover price and saw that it had decent value and it was worth paying $4 or $5 for. And this is issue, I know it's number 16 of this title. It is Gold Key. It's from 1963. And it's Flintstones number 16. It is the first appearance of Bam Bam. Introducing the Rubble's new bundle of noise, Bam Bam. So that's pretty cool. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you find some kind of interesting stuff. Then I spent most of the rest of the time digging through. There were a couple boxes and a big chest of $3 books. So I just grabbed, you know, things that I thought were decent keys. X-Force 2, second Deadpool, Deadpool Limited Series #1, oops, Star Wars Dark Empire #2. This is the first appearance of, I think, Han Solo's in Princess Leia's children in this storyline. Obviously, it's not Kylo Ren, but they wrote children. The Max #1, there's the Channing Tatum connection to a potential movie or something. X-Men #11, this classic Jim Lee cover. I believe that was his last issue on the title. Spawn Batman #1, Miller McFarlane. This X-Men 24, the classic Rogue Gambit Kiss. X-Men 25, Wolverine loses his adamantium. Magneto pulls it out of him with a hologram cover. Another one of these. And another one of these. And then this is Tales of the Jedi #1, another Dark Horse Star Wars. There are a bunch of first appearances in this. I like to pick up these milestone editions. If nothing else, use them as giveaways because it's a cool read. First reprint of the first Iron Fist. A couple of Gen 13s. This is Volume 2, #1. J. Scott Campbell covers. And then this classic cover in #12. This does have some value in a 9.8. This book, this particular copy is not a 9.8 contender, but it does have some value in a 9.8. Gambit #1. And then X-Men 283. It's a pretty sharp copy. 282 Newsstand. And that's the first cameo appearance of Bishop. Morbius, The Living Vampire #1, still in the poly bag. And Amazing Spider-Man 374. And that was it for the flea market. But I think that the you know, a couple of those Archie books, especially the 1960 Betty and Veronica book, was a nice pickup. And the first Bam Bam. And the first Speed Racer, that was a good book as well. So some pretty cool stuff. And again, you know, you can find, because people don't recognize it, you just have to be patient. And especially if you're checking out condition. I also like those Batman books because a couple of those could be PC upgrades for me. So I'm going to have to check versus the PC. I got the Batmans behind me in these two boxes on the right-hand side, top two shelves. My Silver and Bronze Age Batman collection. I think it goes into the copper, too, what I have there. So then I made another stop.
I love Cherry Funk. He's my favorite.
Trip to Street Sides.
What's up, Jim?
Always good to stop by Street Side Anthony's. It's kind of on the way home for me from the Meadowlands. So just to go and... I've said this before. Just to socialize. Talk comic books. Talk comic book movies. You know, we talk about Madam Web. And you know, upcoming things and just other stuff. It was, you know, it's always a good time there. I did pick up a few books. I was intrigued by this cover. This is from 1973, so it's not a 72 book, but I'm putting this in the PC. This is a Rick Estrada cover, and it's just bizarre. There's this horse with an axe playing chess with Wonder Woman as one of the pieces. Weird stuff. This particular book, I just thought it was so high grade. I might press this and consider submitting it. I don't think it's a 9.8, but it's in the 9s, definitely. I'm not sure what it's worth. I mean, it does have value in a 9.8 just because of its age. It's Lois Lane number 99, and some of these Lois Lane cover, they're all preposterous, it seems. Superman grilling Lana on the witness stand. Admitted Lois, or grilling Lois, you were always jealous of Lana Lang because she was my childhood sweetheart when I was Superboy, so you murdered her. Batman is distraught by this news. I'm the world's greatest detective, yet I can't find any evidence to save Lois from the death house. And they have the picture of Superboy and Lana. Yeah, this, but it's such high grade. That's kind of why I picked it. I'll see what a press does to it, you know. And then Jimmy Olsen 109, a George Perez, a Neil Adams cover. I'm sorry. Somehow Lex has, you know, gotten Jimmy to work together with him. This is a 72 book. I'm not sure if it's an upgrade over the PC. I have to, or if I have it, I have to check. I'll just kind of put it. I have the 72 books back there on that top shelf on the left. Those left two boxes are all DC 72s. So it's easy for me to kind of check and upgrade. This is a 73 book, but I like the cover. I thought it was a high grade World's Finest 220. This is actually from 1971, but I couldn't bypass this cover. Neil Adams with Dr. Fate, and then I'm collecting all the books, DC books from 72. So the way you can identify a 72 book is, generally speaking, so if it's one of these 48 or 52 page 25 centers, if it's from January through June, it's 72. If it's July through December, like this is, it's 71. Then they switched over to 20 centers. And the 20 cent covers, what separates them in 73 is, in 73, in the DC logo there, they usually put the title of the book as well. In 72 books, that DC is clean. There's nothing else in it. And in the early months, July, you know, it goes from July to December, 20 centers. In the early months, now only 20 cents. Then I picked up Gunhawks #1 from Marvel. I'm going to put that in, you know, when I do a Western show. Tales of Green Lantern Corps #2, first appearance of Necron. A little bit, get some damage, but mid-grade, newsstand. Put that in a spec pile. This is a book I like. All-Star Squadron 23. I love the All-Star Squadron. This is the first appearance of Amazing Man. And this has value in a 9.8. Potentially, it doesn't sell a lot, but it is a, you know, there aren't a lot of 9.8s out there. I guess not a lot of people are submitting it, but it is, you know, it does sell in a 9.8. And Amazing Man is in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, the first animated movie. It's a trilogy of movies for the Crisis on Infinite Earth story. But he's one of the characters in there, which is kind of an interesting choice. He was so All-Star Squadron takes place in World War II. in the golden age of comics. So you see, you know, Hawkman, Atom, Dr. Fate from the Justice Society, Liberty Bell, who was in Star Spangled Comics and Boy Commandos, one of the first female superheroes. And obviously, there were no African American superheroes in the 1940s in DC, you know, or any of the major publishers. And so, Amazing Man was created by Roy Thomas to be a representative hero, to have some inclusivity in the title. And I think he was, I don't know if he was a gold medalist in decathlon 36 Olympics or just a medalist. Competed, I forget. But basically has the same powers as Absorbing Man. Whatever he touches, he turns into, whether it's steel or wood or rock or whatever. So, and they've used his grandson in the Justice Society in more modern days, things like that. This is a book I needed. I'm kind of working on my Action Comics run. It's a nice copy. It does have a ton of overspray on the bottom. Just a ton. But other than that, a nice copy. I like the fact that it includes Green Arrow and the Atom. Then this is a sharp copy. I might grade this. Brightest Day 4, the first appearance of Jackson Hyde, the second Aqualad. And there were rumors of, was it, I forget the name of the director was attached to it, potentially doing a TV series or something, but that was in the pre-James Gunn days. But I still think it's a good character because he was a major character in the Young Justice animated series. Then another one of these Marvel milestones, The Amazing Spider-Man, and the final book I picked up. I like this. This is a goofy, and it's a Neil Adams cover, Superboy 145. This is the issue in which his parents are youthened. They're made to look younger to be more hip for the 60s and stuff. So that's the haul for today. Picked up some fun books. And again, kind of the moral of the story is when you're hunting and you see a pile of older books, there could be something really interesting in there. And it's, books. I didn't even know about the first Bam Bam, but I recognize that Archie book. It's 49. This is from 1960. Number 40 is worth like 10 times what number 49 is worth. It's, I think, Betty and Veronica are stretching for ballet class or something. So it's very collectible among all those perverts who collect those Archie books. But it was, if you could always find something a little off kilter, maybe, that is interesting to pick up. So, and sometimes, like more modern stuff, I keep digging, and these books have been increasing in value lately because of the movie, the documentary about the creator, Dave Stevens, all the Dave Stevens covers, and they're mixed in with like those 80s independent Eclipse, Comico, Pacific. He did not work for the main comic companies. He worked for the indies in the 80s, and sometimes buried in a stack of, forgettable 80s, Eclipse books, you can find a Dave Stevens cover. So sometimes it's worth it to just be hunting thoroughly. So anyway, I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by. Let me know what you think about the pickups. You can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.